What's up guys, it's Amidas and I'm bringing you a Feral Druid PvP guide. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so here's the talent build you would want. 2 in Feral Swiftness, 3 in Fear, 2 in Predatory Strikes, 2 in Infected Wounds. You don't need any in Fury Swipes because it may look helpful but it's really not. Primal Fury, Feral Aggression, King of the Jungle, Feral Charge, Stampede, you don't need Thick Hide, Leader of the Pack, Brutal Impact, Nurturizing Instinct. Primal Madness, this one's optional because what it will help you with is when you go into bear form and you want to pop your Frenzied Regen, it will give you more rage to heal yourself with, but other than that you don't really need it, and you could put it in like Perseverance or some other helpful things. Survival Instincts, that's a must. Endless Carnage, Natural Reaction. This is really helpful because it reduces all your damage in bear form by 18%. So if you're like frozen by a mage or you're being slowed, something like that, switch to bear form if you're under attack, so you won't be taking that much damage. And as soon as it's over, you just switch back to cat form. Rend and Tear and Berserk. And then over in the Resto tree, you want Natural Shapeshifter, Heart of the Wild, and Master Shapeshifter. As far as the glyphs go, these are what I use for mine. Bloodletting, each time you shred or mangle in cat form, the duration of rip on your target is extended by 2 seconds up to a maximum of 6. That's really helpful because you can get 1 or 2 extra ferocious bites off. Glyph of Rip, periodic damage of your rip by 15%. It's really helpful because your rip does a lot of your damage. Increases the duration of Berserk by 10%. That's a pretty long time. For the minor or the major glyphs, you want Feral Charge, Fairy Fire, and Pounce. And then for these, you can pretty much put whatever you want, but the dash one is really helpful. So is the rebirth one, just for like battlegrounds and stuff. Okay, so for your stat priority, the thing you want the most is agility. And then if you can't get agility, you want resilience. And then you have to make sure you have 5% hit chance. That way you don't miss level 85 targets. And that, in my opinion, is one of the most important things you need, because say you're in an arena and the DPS is about to die and you have a ferocious bite that would have killed him, but it misses and then he gets healed back up to full. That would not be good. So you want to make sure you have 5% hit chance, and then you want to get 195 spell penetration. And the reason you want this is you get instant cyclones every time you use a 5-point finisher. You don't want that cyclone to miss, because that would be bad, because then you would have used your proc you get and you wouldn't get the CC. And then other than that, you want mastery, and a lot of the other things aren't really that useful, so try and reforge out of them if you get anything else. As far as rotation goes, if you're fighting a melee person, you're going to open with Feral Charge. If it's like a mage or something, you're going to want to open with Pounce. But if it's a mage, you're going to Feral Charge to Pounce. And then from that, put up your Rake, your Mangle, and then your Rake. Then you're going to want to use your Tiger's Fury. Shred until 5 combo points. Use Rip. And then cast your Berserk and any other cooldowns like your trinkets and stuff. And shred until you have 5 combo points. And then Ferocious Bite. And then if the mage says, let's say the mage blinks away, Feral Charge after him and Ravage. Another thing to keep in mind is that your dash and your stampeding roar break freezes. So if you get frozen by a mage, If you dash, it'll break the freeze, and then you could switch to feral, or you switch to bear form and feral charge, or you could just sprint over to the mage and start hitting him again. Now, something really helpful to keep in mind is if you can't stealth, feral charge in bear form is really helpful because it only has a 15-second cooldown, 14 seconds if you spec into it, and it also stuns your target. And one other helpful thing to do, when you feral charge, you can use your bash, and that'll give you twice as long of a stun. And when you're taking a lot of damage, the best thing to do would be I have my survival instincts and Barkskin in one macro, but you can pop that, and if you're a Tauren, you can war stomp. But what that does is together that's 20%, that's 50%, that's 70% less damage taken. And if you're taking a lot of damage, switch to bear form, pop enrage, and then frenzied regen, and that will heal you up really high. And then you're pretty much at least half health again once you do that. And do everything you can while you're using your frenzy regeneration to keep them in range, because most of the time they'll try to run away, so you can't get rage to heal yourself with. But if you just stun them or something with your bash and you sit here and just hit at them, it heals you for a bunch. See, that one frenzied regeneration healed me for 46k health, so that's about a third of my health. But yeah, those two, the survival instincts and Barkskin and the frenzied regeneration, are really helpful cooldowns. And you can also stampeding roar in bear form if you get frozen while trying to frenzy regen. You can just catch up to him again. Now, one of the best things in my opinion about a druid is your instant cyclones and instant healing touches. When you go up through a target and you're beating on him, when you use a 5-point finishing move, you get Predator Swiftness, which will give you an instant cyclone and also an instant healing touch, which is really helpful. Because you can heal yourself, one of your teammates, or say you have a focus macro like I do, it'll cyclone my focus target, and that is an undispellable, non-breakable CC. It's good to use on healers and stuff, especially because it's instant. And when you do that, they can't do anything and they're immune to all damage. So don't cyclone the person that you're attacking unless you're taking a lot of damage and need to get away. One more thing to keep in mind, if you're fighting one person, like there's one person left in the arena and he's at full health, but you and your partner are still alive, don't forget that you have your tranquility. CC the one person left and heal you and your partner up with tranquility. Heals for a lot. So much that healed me for, that doesn't show. That healed me for quite a bit though. It will probably be half your health. So that's also really helpful. And I also keybind my Berserk and my trinket in one, so I use both of them at the same time and I don't forget about my trinket. Now real quick, I'll show you how I would open up on a target, a melee person that's not a mage, and then I'll show you how to open up on things like warlocks and mages and priests who can get away from you easily. Your stun, your charge, and your bear form heals your stuns your target. So if you're fighting a meleeer and he's slowed from your infected wounds, you can just run away, bear form, frail charge, and they're stunned. And then once again, you could take advantage of your bash. If you're beating them, quickly switch to bear form, bash, and then back to cat form. They'll have a nice couple seconds where they're just sitting there stunned. One more thing I want to mention is that a good feral druid never lets his predator swiftness go to waste, whether it be in a healing touch or a cyclone. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Feral Druid PvP Guide by Admitas. If you guys have any other suggestions for videos I could do, please leave it in the comments or let me know. New PvP video coming out soon. So yeah, hope you enjoyed.